Inside a hospital building. Inside the psychiatry department. The protagonist sits across from the psychiatrist, his eyes cold yet strangely calm. He explains that every living creature he sees looks like a pig. The psychiatrist raises an eyebrow, amused. She teases him, asking if he's joking and if she looks like a pig too. With a stern, emotionless face, he replies, "Yes." The psychiatrist forces a smile. "I've never heard of a condition like this before," she says, studying him closely. Despite his strange words, she can't help but notice. He's quite handsome. Curious, she unbuttons the top of her blouse, pretending it's part of the examination. "Let's see if your body reacts normally," she says softly. The protagonist stares at her silently. She smiles, wondering what he sees in that moment. He finally answers, dead serious. "Two double piggies. If you understand what I mean." Her face turns red. She hurriedly buttons her shirt and sits back, now convinced he's completely delusional. The psychiatrist clears her throat. "You have a severe spinal deformity. Your spine is twisted and pressing against your brain and optic nerves. That might explain why everyone looks like pigs to you." The protagonist is shocked. She continues, "Surgery could fix it, but if it fails, you might be paralyzed from the neck down." Silence fills the room. He slowly stands up. "Are you done talking?" he asks flatly. Then, glancing at the anatomical spine model on her desk, he says, "Give me back my spine." The psychiatrist blinks, realizing he thinks the model is his actual spine. She sighs, thinking what a waste of a handsome face. Later that day on the bus, the protagonist looks out the window, exhausted. His name is Yi-chan, and he's been officially diagnosed with a severe mental illness. For as long as he can remember, everyone he sees looks like a pig. Maybe it's because his parents were pig butchers. It doesn't really bother him, except when it comes to dating. Today, however, is different. Today is the day he awakens his profession, and he secretly hopes the illness will vanish once he does. At the Academy's awakening ceremony site, students crowd the entrance, buzzing with excitement. Yi-chan quietly hopes his pig vision won't interfere with the awakening. A shy girl waves at him. "Yi-chan, you finally made it." He looks at her and sees a disturbing pig smiling back. She frowns when he doesn't respond. "Why are you ignoring me?" Before he can answer, another student laughs. "Stop flirting already. You two are childhood sweethearts. You'll probably get married." The girl blushes furiously. "Shut up." Yi-chan says nothing. The principal steps forward, his voice booming. "Students, line up by your numbers. The ceremony begins now." He reminds them that awakening depends on strength, agility, and spirit, the foundation that determines their life's profession. The ceremony begins. One by one, students approach the glowing stone platform. A boy places his hand on it. The stone flashes faintly. Result: intermediate metal worker. He slumps, disappointed. Another student tries. Result: advanced healer. The crowd cheers. Then another. Result: junior engineer. A trembling student steps forward next. The stone flares with bright light. Energy ripples through the room. Result: rare combat profession, shadowless bladesman. Gasps echo through the crowd. The principal beams. "Excellent. What's your name?" "Lu Jinglong, sir." The student replies proudly. The principal smiles. "I'll speak with your parents about your future personally." Jinglong bows and steps down. Then, the principal calls out, "Yi-chan, step forward." The shy girl shouts, "Good luck." The principal eyes him carefully. Something feels off. His stats are unbelievably high, 10 times that of a normal student. Yi-chan places both hands on the stone. It explodes with chaotic golden light. Students scream as the energy floods the hall. Smoke pours from the stone. The principal's eyes widen. Golden light? That's divine tier. Yi-chan stares at the glowing words that appear before him. Profession: divine tier, pig butcher. The entire hall goes silent. Then laughter erupts. pig butcher? Seriously. The principal's face twists in disbelief. In all his years, he's never seen a divine tear awakening. Yet fate chose this ridiculous profession. He can't even brag about it to the other schools. He looks at Yi-chan, once full of promise, now a cosmic joke. Suddenly, a system window appears before Yi-chan's eyes. Status window. Tier 1 apprentice. Strength 5. Agility 3. Spirit 2. Professional talents. Swine nemesis. Deals 50% extra damage to pigs. Each pig killed grants plus 1% overall stat increase. Pigs deal half damage to you. Blade of God slaying. Choose a weapon as your pig slaying knife. Each pig slain increases all attributes. Blood Shadow Butcher. Unique skill releases a killing aura that forces pigs into a 1-second fear state. Yi-chan reads the window and smirks. Maybe being insane isn't so bad after all. After all, in his world, everyone is a pig. The auditorium fell silent as the protagonist walked off the stage, every pair of eyes following him. Jinglong and another student couldn't hold back their laughter, snickering loud enough for everyone to hear. Jinglong mocked him. So all those perfect grades and stats were for nothing, huh? The other student nodded eagerly. Of course. Jinglong's the strongest in our entire graduating class. A girl hurried over to the protagonist, her voice soft and reassuring. It's okay, really. She gently placed her hand on his head and added, You awakened a divine-level pig butcher. You're just following in your father's footsteps. Several boys nearby watched with envy. After all, she was one of the most beautiful girls in the school. Her cheeks flushed pink as she continued. My dad and uncle would be thrilled to hear this. They've always respected your family. We've been neighbors since we were kids, and our parents have always hoped we'd end up together someday. Before he could reply, the principal called out, Su Lingxian. The girl smiled nervously. That's me. Wish me luck. She looked back at the protagonist and said, No matter what profession I get, I'll stand by your side. The protagonist remained silent, too overwhelmed to respond. Lingxian stepped forward, her hands trembling slightly as she reached out to touch the awakening stone. A blinding flash erupted. The stone pulsed with a majestic, blue light that filled the hall. The crowd gasped. Legendary profession! The principal shouted, eyes wide. A combat-type legendary tier. The Snow Soul Sword Immortal. The entire hall burst into astonished whispers. The principal muttered in disbelief. Incredible. Both her parents are life-type professionals, and yet she awakened a legendary combat class. Lingxian stood there, calm and radiant, a powerful blue aura swirling around her. The academy will fully support your future, the principal announced proudly. Lingxian bowed gracefully. Thank you. Then she descended the stairs with elegant confidence, her aura still shimmering like frost. In the crowd, a group of girls began to gossip. Do you think she'll still hang around him now that he's just a pig butcher? One whispered. Please, another sneered. She'd be better off cutting ties. He'd only hold her back. The protagonist stepped forward. Congratulations, Lingxian. She met his gaze coldly. We're no longer from the same world. Let's cut ties. He froze, stunned. Around them, other students smirked, pleased with her decision. But instead of showing pain, the protagonist smiled faintly. You're right. Cutting ties sounds great. Ling Xuan's expression darkened. You're just pretending to be fine. You're a pig butcher. Someone like you will never achieve anything great. He didn't interrupt her. He just stood there listening quietly. If you have no objections, she said sharply, then it's settled. From now on, we'll live in separate worlds. The protagonist nodded. If that's all, I'll be going. For the first time in a long while, he felt strangely relieved, finally free from the annoying pig head. Jinglong walked up beside Lingxian and placed a hand on her shoulder. Want me to teach him a lesson? Maybe then he'll wake up to reality. Lingxian looked toward the protagonist, her face blank and unreadable. Hey, I'm talking to you, Jinglong barked. The protagonist ignored him and continued walking. Jinglong's temper snapped. He grabbed the protagonist's arm roughly. "I said I'm talking to you." The protagonist turned his head slowly, his eyes cold, sharp, and merciless. "What do you want?" he asked quietly. Jinglong froze. A chill ran down his spine. Something primal warned him not to move closer. The look in those eyes, no, it wasn't human. It was the look of a butcher sizing up livestock before the slaughter. The students watching burst into laughter, thinking it was just an act. But one of them frowned. Why did Jinglong stop? Ignoring his own fear, Jinglong shouted and swung at the protagonist's back. In a blur, the protagonist spun around and caught the attack mid-swing, his fist crashing against Jinglong's hand with a sickening crack. Jinglong screamed in agony. The entire hall went silent. No one could believe what they just saw. Jinglong stared at his mangled hand, trembling. Impossible. How are you this strong? The protagonist looked at him calmly and replied, "Of course I'd have strong hands." His tone was cold, almost mocking. "I'm a pig butcher after all." Students were confused, whispering among themselves. Nobody understood what had just happened or why Jinglong's hand hurt. Jinglong shouted at the protagonist that he was going to kill him, and a dangerous, glowing mana sword flashed into being around his hand. The crowd watching the fight gasped. They all assumed the protagonist was about to be seriously harmed. Jinglong sneered, boasting that his mana sword could slice through steel pipe and that he would cripple the protagonist. Then, as if frozen by some unseen force, Jinglong's body stiffened. He stared at Lingxian, bewildered, and demanded to know why she was intervening. Lingxian stepped forward and told him to stop. She didn't want to see them fight over her. Walking toward the protagonist, Lingxian repeated one final, cold truth. They no longer came from the same world. This, she said, would be the last time she helped him. A farewell to their shared past. She warned him to leave and never return. If Jinglong sought revenge, she would not come to his aid again. The protagonist yawned, unmoved. He shrugged and said he was leaving now. The onlookers watched, baffled and convinced he wasn't taking anything seriously. He began to walk home. A dog suddenly lunged, barking fiercely. Its owner smirked and let it be. The protagonist, caught mid-thought, looked up and saw two ugly people standing there, one muscular, the other scarred and burned. He tried to be polite. "Can you pull your pig?" he corrected himself. "Dog away? It's blocking my path." The woman rushed forward, shoving her face into his, cursing and proclaiming that he didn't own the road. "My dog can do as he pleases," she spat. "Young people today have no compassion." The protagonist inhaled slowly. The moment was perfect for a test he had been meaning to try. He kicked the dog hard in the stomach. Collapsed instantly, dead. A system window flickered into view. Extra damage increased by 1%. A thrill ran through the protagonist. His theory was right. Whatever curse warped his vision, making everyone look like pigs, didn't stop him from using his ability on any living creature. The woman, furious, screamed that she would avenge her baby and kill him. The protagonist met her without flinching and produced the hospital papers that labeled him a psychopath. He handed them to her like proof. He fixed her with a hard stare. "If there's nothing else," he said, "I'll be leaving now." The woman's bravado crumbled. Fear replaced rage. She forced a fake smile and muttered an awkward apology. "Sorry, young man. Take care. Have a nice day," and backed off. At home, his parents greeted him warmly. His father was ecstatic. The profession of pig butcher, he declared, ran in the family. The protagonist was confused, but his father explained with pride that this line of work suited him better than fighting and killing professions. Starting tomorrow, he said, he would take his son to the slaughterhouse so he could learn the trade. Late that night, while the protagonist slept, a shadow moved outside. The protagonist's father stepped into the dark and warned the stranger not to return and disturb their lives. The shadowed man answered, surprised that the son of Ghost Cry would be nothing more than a pig butcher, and openly questioned whether the protagonist was truly his biological child. The father's look turned lethal. He told the man to leave and never trouble them again, or he would not be so polite. The stranger began to fade into the black and called back, trying to soothe the father. Don't be angry. Since the son is only a pig butcher, the organization won't cause any more trouble. The next day at the slaughterhouse they were led into a private room. A good butcher starts with a good knife. The father told him, gesturing to an array of blades. Choose the one that feels right in your hand. Amazed, the protagonist reached for a knife. The system window popped up again. Pig-slaying knife has been selected. God-slaying edge is now in effect. For every pig killed with this blade, attribute points will be awarded. A vicious pig squealed in the adjoining stall. Your first lesson, his father said, is learning the knife. He nodded toward the animal. Aim for the weak spot. One hit, one kill. The protagonist slices cleanly. His blade flashes, and the pig collapses instantly. A status window flickers before his eyes. Normal pig killed ×1. Level increased by 1%. Bonus damage against pig-type enemies +1%. Gained 1 free attribute point. His father grins proudly. Nicely done. The only regret is that your strike wasn't precise enough. You need to aim for the carotid artery next time, 1 clean hit. The protagonist looks at his father, deep in thought. His father laughs heartily. You might not understand everything right now, but one day you will. The protagonist then asks, Dad, can I slaughter the rest of the pigs myself? His father's eyes widen with excitement. You want to? Ha! Of course you can. You can even handle Uncle Lee and Uncle Chan's pigs too. And so, the protagonist begins. One after another, he slaughters pigs with ruthless precision. The system window constantly updates, his attributes and damage power climbing higher and higher. Hours pass. He wipes the sweat from his forehead and checks his status window. Pigs killed. 49. Damage. +100%. Attributes. Strength 10-15. Current rank. Level 5 apprentice. His father's coworker laughs. Hey, is your son addicted to slaughtering pigs? He just did a week's worth of work in one day. His father chuckles proudly. What can I say? My son's a divine pig butcher. The protagonist smiles faintly. He feels his grip on the blade becoming second nature. Confident, he thinks it's time to leave the slaughterhouse and see the outside world for himself. The next day, he departs from home. This world is vast and dangerous. Countless races from heaven and other realms coexist, while monsters run rampant. Humanity no longer has separate nations. Instead, they've united under the Human Federation, divided into 9 special districts. King Shang, the protagonist, lives on the outer edge of the 5th district. As he approaches the borderlands, a guard steps forward. You're a lifetime profession, right? Once you leave the city, your operational range is limited to 1 kilometer. Any farther and your life could be in danger. Do you understand? The protagonist nods. Yes. The guard waves him through. Then you're cleared to enter the woods. Moments later, a rustling noise echoes behind him. A tiny goblin leaps out, clutching a crude knife. Its skin is a sickly green, its eyes glowing with hunger. The protagonist smirks. A goblin, huh? Perfect. I wanted to test the effects of Blood Shadow Butcher. He activates the skill. A red aura flares around his blade, and the goblin freezes in fear. Then, with a single motion, its head rolls to the ground. Goblin killed ×1. System notice. The stronger the pig you kill, the greater the benefits. As the message fades, several glowing eyes appear in the darkness behind him. He recalls his teacher's warning. If you see one goblin, assume an entire pack has already marked you. The protagonist steadies his knife, eyes gleaming. Good, more experience. The goblins charge, snarling. He moves like a shadow, cutting through their necks one by one. Swift, silent, merciless. The last goblin trembles, backing away in terror. The protagonist's gaze sharpens, cold and predatory. The goblin turns and flees into a nearby cave. He follows. A sinister smile creeps across his face, his aura radiating killing intent. Moments later, the cave falls silent. Every goblin inside lies dead. He opens his status window once more. Rank: Level 6 Apprentice. Strength: 25 Agility, 25 Spirit, 25. Pig Nemesis. Plus 120% bonus damage versus pig-type enemies. Then a sound. He spins around. A wooden door creaks behind him. He kicks it open and freezes. Inside is a young woman, her clothes torn, tears streaming down her face. Tiny goblins cling to her, trying to feed. She looks up at him in desperation, voice trembling. "Please, help me." The protagonist approaches the girl with his knife raised. She trembles, begging him not to kill her. Tears stream down her face as she shuts her eyes tightly, expecting death. But instead, the sound of steel cuts through the air. One by one, the baby goblins surrounding her fall lifeless to the ground. When she opens her eyes, she's stunned. Every goblin has been slain. The protagonist stands before her, his blade dripping with green blood. "You're safe now," he says calmly. "You don't have to worry anymore. They're all dead." The girl looks to her side and sees a goblin's corpse beside her. Shocked, she gasps, then throws her arms around him. "Thank you. Thank you so much. They were about to. I was almost." Her voice breaks. The protagonist remains still. "I didn't come here to save you," he replies coldly. "I just came to kill goblins." The girl looks at him in disbelief. Then, "What's your name? Are you some kind of combat-type professional?" "Yi Chuan," he answers. "Once you leave this cave, go that way. It'll lead you back to the city." Several moments later, Yi Chuan notices the girl still trailing behind him. He turns sharply. "Why are you following me? Are you a spy sent by the goblins?" Startled, she shakes her head. "And no, I'm just scared to go back alone." Yi Chuan studies her for a moment, then sighs. "What's your name?" "San Nan," she says softly. "My mother's birthday is in a few days. I came to find a blood moon flower as a gift, but I didn't expect to be captured by goblins." She hesitates, then adds, "How about a deal? If you help me find the blood moon flower, I'll help you meet the best weaponsmith in the city. He can forge you a new knife." Yi Chuan raises an eyebrow. "Do you even know how much it costs to hire the best weaponsmith in town?" "Go back. Stop following me." Nan Nan frowns. She can't understand why this man is so cold. She's beautiful by any standard, yet he acts as if she's invisible. What's wrong with this guy's head? She wonders. She folds her arms. "Do you even know who I am? My father is Xia Beihai." Yi Chuan pauses. The name stirs something in his memory, one of the 4 great noble families. A 9th-rank master realm transcendent, just one step away from becoming a grandmaster. He smirks. "If that's true, then I might just get myself one of the finest blades in the city." Nan Nan shows him a shimmering amulet. "My father gave me this protective charm. Even a transcendent expert couldn't harm me while it's active. But the goblins were cunning. They ambushed me, and though they couldn't touch me, they locked me up." Yi Chuan nods. "All right, I'll help you find the blood moon flower. But in exchange, I want a top-tier knife." Nanan's eyes light up. She smiles brightly and extends her hand. "Deal." She unfolds her map and points to a red mark. "This is where the blood moon flower grows, but it's guarded by the blood moon great python. It's dangerous." Yi Chuan's eyes narrow. "A giant python?" Nan Nan nods. "Yes, according to the Wilderness Survival Guide, it's as strong as a 9th-rank apprentice. I'm not sure I can handle it with my current strength." Yi Chuan lets out a faint chuckle, part nervous, part thrilled. "I've never seen a giant python before." Nan Nan sighs. Is he even listening? Still, after watching him wipe out an entire goblin nest, she's convinced this man might actually be a god-level combat type. "Let's go," Yi Chuan says. "You lead the way." For some reason, Nan Nan feels both comforted and uneasy around him. He's reliable, but also terrifyingly unpredictable. Moments later, they crouch low in the tall grass. Ahead of them grazes a massive silver-horned rhinoceros. "Don't move," Nan Nan whispers. We can't provoke it. If it gets enraged, its power rivals an 8th rank apprentice. But Yi Chuan rises to his feet. What are you doing? She hisses. He glances back at her. If it dares to eat grass today, it'll dare to eat people tomorrow. It can't be left alive. Before she can react, he charges forward, his blade flashing once under the sunlight. The next second, the rhinoceros collapses with a thunderous crash. Nan Nan stares wide-eyed. He killed it. In one strike. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. The more support you show, the faster I can post the next chapters. So stay tuned. You won't want to miss what's coming next.